Early on, you get expressions of doubt or confusion, hug them, bring them close to you, figure out how to earn understanding and support. These don'ts, right? If you don't adhere to them, you will face plant. And so I want to walk through these as well. First of all, and this is one probably that I see more commonly out there than almost anything else with new innovators, is it's the opposite of the first do, which remember was solve a real problem. There are awful lot of concepts out there that become the quintessential solution that is desperately in search of a problem. The reason this is a problem all on its own is because you don't solve a problem that's broadly perceived, which means you're going to have to push your product into the market. You're going to have to push the process on people because you're not solving a real problem. And if you do that, you're going to be a bit like Sisyphus, right? You're going to be rolling your rock uphill potentially forever. And any time that you stop pushing, guess what happens? It rolls back down to the beginning. Second, don't create an undifferentiated product or service because someone in your organization is telling you we really need something in this category. Now, this is something that for those of us who work for organizations will run into often, from your sales organization, your marketing organization. Just because you need something in a category is not a good reason to do it. So resist that effort to create something that's undifferentiated and just copy somebody else, because again, cluttered world, when you do that, you're going to have a hard time selling it. You're going to end up potentially with something that is worse than useless. Okay, number 3, don't go it alone. There are many smart people in the world, and I suspect within your organizations. Bring some of that perspective and experience into your creative silo, and don't spring things on people at the last minute because you may not get the answer or the approbation that you sought. Okay, similar, do not discard early expressions of incredulity or perplexity among your test subjects. I must admit, have been guilty of this a time or two. They just don't get it. I'll show them, they'll figure it out. Well, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they don't get it because there's not enough there to get, or because you didn't explain it well, or you're not describing or supporting the product well. So do the opposite. Early on, you get expressions of doubt or confusion, hug them, bring them close to you, figure out how to earn understanding and support through better clarity of communication, more customer support, or potentially a redesign. Okay, don't ever rush your prototype to market in order to hit an arbitrary deadline that, I will tell you, they masquerade as critical milestones. They're in the plan. By God, you got to hit them. That is not what's critical. What is critical is not to face plant upon launch. Now, what's that look like? Well, that looks like launching a product that you find out as soon as it starts to have more than a dozen testers has issues. And then you're looking at a recall. And that, my friends, is a horrific experience that I've only been through one time in my 20 years. And it was enough to convince me never to do it again. That constitutes a face plant, or you roll out a process, a creative process within your organization that gets rejected. Well, now all you've got are a bunch of people that are confused and think that you don't know what the hell's going on because you obviously didn't vet this and test it in advance. And it's a whole hairball that you don't need. And last but not least, never, it's a triple negative, I realize, ever become that tool who copies other people's stuff because you're better.